Welcome to Odisha State Open University. Today we will talk about pipeline methodology in graphic industries. Workflow management in industry is usually discussed as a pipeline. It simply is a well-defined set of processes for achieving the desired result. In graphic designing and multimedia industry, the final output is made after going through certain processes or stages. Different people or teams are involved for different skills. In each stage, the final output is made according to the project objective, target audience, and the technical requirements. And then the final output is made. The production pipeline describes the production process and facilitates the production environment. In this video, we will discuss the production pipeline of graphic design and animation projects. In graphic designing, the production process can be divided into 4 stages. Stage 1, planning. Stage 2, design. Stage 3, development. Stage 4, deployment. Planning is the first stage of any graphic design project. At this stage, the objective of the project is set based on the brief from the client or user is taken into consideration. The context for the work is defined. Information about the project, the client, the market is gathered. Necessary research is also done to make an effective design. The target audience, the message, the budget, timeline is clarified. The design team meets and brainstorms various ideas. In the meeting, role of each member is clarified. Stage 2, design. After suitable planning, design is the critical thinking phase in a design process. Based on information and research in first phase, the conceptualization of design is done. Look and feel, color, and content for the design are made. The concepts are shared with the client and feedback is taken. Once the concept is agreed, you can move to the next phase. In the development phase, the concept is refined based on feedback from the client or user. 2 or more options of the product are made. This phase gives the overall look and feel of the final product. The final product options are shared with the client for approval and finalization. Once the design is finalized by the client, it is time for production or publishing if required. The design is refined further if needed. The designs are created in final format for print production and or media outputs, online integration or media presentation as needed. The final output is delivered. Now let's discuss production pipeline for 2D animation. Here, the process can be divided into 3 phases. Phase 1, pre-production. Phase 2, production. Phase 3, post-production. Now let's start with the first phase, pre-production. Pre-production is the planning and conceptualization stage. In this stage, the concept is finalized and story is developed. Based on the story, a script is made with all the characters, backgrounds, situations, etc. The script is then developed into a storyboard which shows the sequence of happenings in a drawn or visual manner. The sound is roughly recorded and arranged scene-wise. A rough animation is done out of the storyboard where still or semi-animated substances are placed and matched with the sound. Designs for background sketches, character are also made. Coloring styles such as flat coloring, flat and patch coloring as well as gradient shading is made. Phase 2, production. In the production phase, the actual making of the project starts. The layouts are made by detailing out of the storyboard. The background sketches made in pre-production phase are developed into background painting by the background matte painters. Animation is planned using an X sheet or exposure sheet. Here comes the main action of the animators where They use their knowledge to present the characters in form of movement. After drawing the animations, the line drawings are passed through a pencil test which will display the line of action or animation. On approval, the drawings are cleaned up. Outlines and shades are removed. The drawings are traced with the perfect outlines which can be colored through computer software. All the hand drawings are scanned and converted to digital image format. The digital drawings are redrawn through computer softwares and then colored as per the pre-production style. Then, all the components which are created separately by different artists and animators are mixed to form an output. After the composition, the final step is to render and export the scene. Rendering takes very long time to process all the information and create the output. Post-production. This is the last stage of the production process in which the final output is made. At this stage, music and effects are made. Background music, dialogues, funny effect tracks, and all the elements which are required for a scene is given. Audio, video, and the effects are synced together in editing, and then the final output is made in the desired format. 3D animation. The process of 3D animation is a bit long and complex. It requires both creative skill as well as computer knowledge. Like 2D animation, the 3D animation starts with a concept, which is then developed to a storyboard. Here, the storyboard artist has got lots of freedom as compared to a 2D storyboard artist. Then, the concept drawings and sketches are given structural form through 3D modeling. Coloring in 2D is replaced by texturing in 3D. After the character or object is modeled, it has to be textured with color. Another important activity in 3D animation is rigging or applying artificial bones to the modeled character and skinning or applying the bones to the vertices of the character. Now, it's time for providing movement to the modified character and objects as per the story. Then, lighting is made to create all kinds of natural to fantasy feeling. Camera in 3D software has created endless choices to visualize a scene. Appropriate camera techniques are applied to make the animation interesting. Then, rendering or the final output processing of all the working done in modeling, texturing, lighting, camera, animation is done. After render the animation in 3D, the output is taken to the editing table, where the visuals are synced with sound and special effects are added. Music effects are added in the visual output to make a real-time feel. After all the preliminary output elements are joined, now comes the time of final output. The final output is exported to various formats so that it can be viewed in all platforms. All the audiovisual production, irrespective of size, goes through three phases: pre-production, production, and post-production. Pre-production is the first stage of any audiovisual production. At this stage, concept is made, story is developed, screenplay is written, and finance is arranged. The director visualizes the final output and a storyboard is developed. Characters and shooting plan are also finalized. The production phase is the actual making of the material need for the audiovisual. At this stage, shooting of the footages or video takes place. Required graphics, animation, music, sound, lighting effects, and narration are made. Post-production is the last stage of production process and involves assembling and putting together the media assets and material to organize and produce the desired audiovisual. It involves video editing, sound editing, as well as addition of sound effects and visual effects. We discussed production pipeline for different multimedia projects. The pipeline methodology in graphic design industry is also used to plan and manage the content creation process. You can also use the method for managing your own projects. The pipeline we discussed are in a broader sense and may vary from a project to project or a designer to designer. You can customize this as per demand of each project. You can customize this as per demand of each of your project. Also remember that having a pipeline does not do the work for you. It just makes the production process more clearer and acts as a facilitator. Making the pipeline work is your responsibility.